I was asked by a Christian vegan if all of the destruction and what's in Revelation should be taken literally. Well, I would suggest that the first thing we do is look around the world, both today and in the past, and see if all of that destruction and things have been going on already. Aren't we, because we aren't living in God's heavenly will, aren't we as a society causing a lot of the destruction and everything that it says will happen in Revelation? Now, the writers of Revelation couldn't explain an atomic bomb or a nuclear or hydrogen bomb or whatever. They couldn't explain it. So they gave it in other terms. They knew the world was heading in the wrong direction. If we have a nuclear war, it'll probably kill 2/3 of the population of this world, and it'll be horrible hardship for the third that are left. So isn't that what it says in Revelation? It basically is. But not all of Revelation is to be taken that way. And we have to think about a couple of other things. What is God's intent? It shows that heaven also has some corruption in it, because people are not living in the heavenly will of God. And he does make some concessions, and he sort of bends over and forgives people and don't do it again, but they do it again, and maybe even worse. So we have to think about what God's heavenly will is. And the last part of Revelation, like in verse 20 or chapter 22, he talks about a new heaven and new earth where there will be no pain, no suffering, or death. And we know by the size of Jerusalem, it couldn't be this earth, because you couldn't have a city that is 15 miles in width, in length, and in height. There's no atmosphere 1,500 miles above the earth. There's the atmosphere that is breathable ends about 2 miles above the earth. And above that, you start to get hypoxia, and by 4, you'll die. So we have to start looking at the world differently and understand that we are fulfilling what God is talking about. And I think we are. I think that we are doing, and today, you can look around today and see all of the destruction that we have caused by our wars. Look at Ukraine, look at the Gaza Strip, look anywhere you want. Look over some of the stuff in Russia. And one of the things we've done is we've ruined our economies. Can you imagine that if you took the amount of money that is put into destroying ourselves, into making this a peaceable kingdom like God created it to be and wants it to be, what we could do? And we don't do it because we don't live in his heavenly will, and we bring upon ourselves all of the destruction that is said to come about in Revelation. And maybe we are living in this tribulation period. And it isn't, quote, a 7 year exactly. It may be, 7 generations. It may be 70 generations. Who knows? But are we having the destruction that it shows in Revelation? I think we are. And it's only going to get worse. We need to live in God's heavenly will. Amen.